Have you ever pondered the intricate relationships between God, His Son, and us, His creation? Today we delve into the first 4 verses of Hebrews 1, where we unravel a harmonic triad of divine love, justice, and Christ's mediation. These verses illuminate the Son's pivotal role as the embodiment of God's glory, the expresser of His nature, and the upholder of all things through His powerful word. Picture this: God, in His divine love, speaks to us through His Son, the appointed heir of all things and the one through whom He made the universe. This is no ordinary communication, but a divine conversation, a profound expression of God's love for us. Next, we see justice in action. The Son, after providing purification for sins, sits at the right hand of the Majesty in heaven. This act of purification is not just a demonstration of divine justice, but also a testament to the Son's role as a mediator, bridging the gap between us and the divine. Finally, we come to mediation. The Son, now seated at the right hand of the Majesty in heaven, is the ultimate mediator, the conduit through which God's divine love and justice reach us. In this triad, we see the beautiful interplay of God's love, justice, and mediation through Christ. Together they form a harmonious relationship that reveals the profound depth of God's approach to His creation and governance. Through this triad, we're invited to reflect on the profound impact of these divine aspects in our lives. How does God communicate with us throughout history, and how has this evolved over time? In the rich tapestry of Hebrews 1, we find a convergence of divine messengers, prophets, angels, and the Son. In earlier times, God chose to speak through prophets in various ways, each revelation a piece of the grand puzzle. These prophets served as divine mouthpieces, delivering God's messages in fragments and shadows. Then we have the angels, heavenly beings in divine service, who also played their part in God's communication. Yet, despite their celestial nature, they are subordinate to the Son, who stands apart in His unique role. The Son, Jesus Christ, is the final and full expression of God's message. His words are not fragments or shadows, but the complete revelation of God's will. He is superior to the angels, as evidenced by the name He inherits, a name that encapsulates the fullness of God's essence. The roles of prophets, angels, and the Son converge into a unified purpose: to mediate divine revelation. This triad offers a fascinating insight into the evolution of divine communication. It shows us how the partial revelations of the past through prophets and angels were a prelude to the ultimate revelation through Christ. This convergence of divine messengers underscores the completeness of God's revelation through Christ. It serves to reiterate the supremacy of Christ and His central role in mediating the divine message to us. What does Christ's supremacy mean to us and our understanding of God? As we delve into the third triad in Hebrews 1, we find ourselves exploring the causal relationship between Christ's supremacy, the revelation of God's nature, and our redemption. The Son, who is the radiance of God's glory and the exact representation of His being, upholds all things by His powerful word. He is more than a beacon of divine light. He is the embodiment of God's essence, the embodiment of God's divine nature. This supremacy is not a mere title, but rather it is the foundation of our understanding of God. In this supremacy, we find the ultimate revelation of God's nature. Christ is not just a messenger or a servant. He is the exact representation of God. Through Him, we encounter God's character, His attributes, His love, and His justice. This revelation, in turn, gives us a clear understanding of who God is and what He desires from us. And from this revelation springs forth our redemption. The Son, in the fullness of His supremacy, provided purification for sins. He did not simply announce our salvation, He enacted it. Through Him, we are cleansed, redeemed, and reconciled to God. So, Christ's supremacy is not just a statement of status. It is a dynamic force, directly causal to our understanding of God and instrumental in our redemption. Indeed, Christ's supremacy is pivotal in our spiritual and existential understanding of redemption. So, what can we glean from these triads in Hebrews 1? We've unpacked the harmonic, convergent, and causal relationships that define our faith, highlighting the supremacy of Christ and His role as a mediator. These triads paint a vivid picture of Christ's divinity, His superior role over prophets and angels, and His essential part in our redemption. As we ponder these revelations, let's appreciate the fullness of God's revelation in Christ, not just as a divine being, but as the central figure in our spiritual lives and redemption.